Hello everyone, this is Carlos with House of Tennis, and today I will break down the forehand technique in 6 simple steps. The modern game is dominated today by players who battle it out from the back of the court with powerful ground strokes. Generally, the forehand is the player's favorite shot during this rally since it can generate more power and more spin. In this video, I will guide players from all levels and coaches that want to help their players improve their form and take their game to the next level. There are 4 grips used for the forehand stroke: the continental grip, the eastern grip, semi-western grip, and the full western grip. There used to be top professional players with all 4 different grips a few years ago. However, for modern tennis, I really recommend using either the eastern grip or the semi-western grip, since they provide not only more flexibility, but more neutrality on the forehand than the continental grip and the full western grip. Let's start with the continental grip. Place the pad of your hand and the base of your index knuckle aligned with bevel number 2. Now your racket face tilts upwards naturally, landing towards a flat stroke. Some of the most famous players that play with this grip were John McEnroe and Stefan Edberg. Let's break down the eastern grip. Place the pad of your hand and the base of your index knuckle on bevel number 3. This is a very natural and physically secure grip. It is also the most versatile grip because you can easily tilt it to a continental grip for a slice or keep the face vertical to brush up on the ball to produce more topspins. Players with the eastern grip are like Federer, Del Potro, and Serena Williams. Now let's go into the semi-western grip. Place the pad of your hand and the base of your index fingers on bevel number 4 of the grip. This will give your racket a downward tilt. You will also need to swing upwards more sharply with this grip, which will produce more topspin. Players with the semi-western grip are Novak, Nadal, Kyrgios. Now let's go into the full western grip. Place the pad of your hand and the base of your index knuckle aligned with bevel number 5 of the grip. Now your racket face tilts severely downwards. Therefore, the most natural swing plane is upwards. Some players with the full western are Jack Sock, Kyle Edmund, Jim Courier. Now, in order to coach a forehand successfully, I recommend that if you happen to meet either a junior or an adult with a full western grip, my advice to you is that you change that player to a semi-western grip, since the change is going to be minor, just from bevel number 5 to bevel number 4. If you happen to meet a player that plays with a continental grip, my advice would be for you to change him to the eastern grip, which would be just another minor change from bevel number 2 to bevel number 3. The second step is the ready position. The ready position for the forehand starts with the player on a wide base, jogging in place on his toes with the knees slightly bent. The dominant hand of the player holds the racket with the forehand grip, and the non-dominant hand holds the neck of the racket. The edge of the racket should be up with the elbows out and in front. Also, the player should do a nice wide split step when the opponent makes contact with the ball in order to react properly in the direction of the ball. Make sure to stay light on your toes while you're either on the ready position or split stepping in order to react properly for the next shot. The third step is the turn and the racket preparation. So as soon as you do the split step, your job would be to recognize the forehand, then turn the shoulders and the torso. Use the non-dominant arm as a way to set your hips and shoulders to the side. It can be done holding the racket on the throat, or it could be without it. The turn will help you initiate the coiling of the body, and this will allow you to uncoil it as you make contact with the ball. Players have different ways of getting the racket out as they turn their body. Some of them have more of a circular take back where the tip of the racket goes up with the hand out. Some players that do this type of take back are Federer and Nadal. Other players have more of a linear take back where they lead with the elbow going back, where the hand could be either facing down or it could be facing out. Some players that have this linear take back are Kyrgios, Jack Sock, Sampras back in the day. The way you take the racket up as you turn your body is optional. Feel free to experiment and see which one feels better, the linear one or the circular one. Just try the one that is more comfortable. Avoid keeping your dominant elbow too close to your body in order to have the proper spacing between you and the ball. You gotta keep your head and eyes pointing at the incoming ball as you turn your shoulders. So you're sideways, your hips are sideways, your shoulders are sideways, but you should be keeping your eyes at the incoming ball. Now the fourth step is the load and the movement. Too often the forehand is taught where the foot is held stationary on the ground or with a locked hip on the side. Practicing a forced torque with a planted foot or with a locked stance on your forehand can cause injuries and make the forehand forceful. It's very important to use a semi-open stance by default on the forehand, leading with the outside leg pressing the ground with your knees slightly bent and your upper body straight and balanced. This will help you utilize your whole body in harmony to prevent unnecessary stress on the joints. The proper load makes the forehand feel easier, more powerful, and more effective. Now, when it comes down to the movement or setup on the forehand, this is very important because it allows you to hit the ball with the proper distance and balance. Make sure that you have the right distance between you and the ball so you're neither jammed or reaching for the ball. The fifth step is the body rotation and the point of contact. So after you set your feet properly and you're loading a strong weight, the goal is to take the racket back and drop the racket with your hand really relaxed and the butt cap of the racket pointing forward. Then rotate and transfer your weight forward as you make contact with the ball in order to use the legs, the torso, and the arms with harmony. Now, when it comes down to the point of contact, it could be executed with a straight arm or with a bent arm. When coaching juniors or adults, they always want to kind of emulate their favorite players, and in most of cases, it's either Federer and Nadal who have a straight arm contact. However, let's break down both of them, the bent arm and the straight arm, and then you can decide which one is suited for your game better. When making contact with the straight arm, the elbow has minimum bend. So that means that their contact will be way farther from their body, causing a smaller hitting zone. Players with this contact have to be incredibly good movers and position their body very precisely in order to avoid errors. When making contact with a bent arm, it gives you more control and flexibility while reducing the stress on your body. The bent arm brings your contact closer to your body, which is stronger and a more balanced position. Therefore, you can handle rotation without causing resistance in the harmony of the stroke. The result is a fluid forehand stroke that is less prone for injuries. Examples of the bent arm are Djokovic, Andy Murray, Wawrinka, Tsonga. Most players have that bent arm contact. From a technical standpoint, the bent arm is more natural and it will maximize chances of developing with training. The sixth step is the finish or follow-through. The follow-through varies depending on the shot that you want to hit and how much height do you want to create on the shot. The follow-through could be above your shoulder, it could be shoulder level, it could be waist level when you hit a windshield wiper, or even reversing a stroke and finishing on the same side of your body. What you want to remember on the follow-through or finish is to keep your balance as you hit that stroke. When I say balance, I mean you want to keep your upper body straight, your knees slightly bent, and keep your head still as you make contact with the ball. To conclude, remember that the main goal on the forehand is not to constrain the player, but to free the player. In order to achieve this, it's highly important to maintain stability in functional movements while allowing joints to swing freely and smoothly through the shot. If you enjoyed the video, just subscribe, and if you have any questions about your strokes, feel free to use the comment section.